How to get the most out of your Genesis tree. Let's go over it. The Genesis tree is not as complicated as it may look when you first open it. So when you first open it, you're not going to be able to pick all the notes that you're looking at. Once you start using up the room gifts, the more you use, the more the tree unlocks. And then once you reach your max, you'll be able to see everything that's there. Once it's all unlocked, it is a lot more simple than it actually looks. So over on the left side of the tree, you have all the currency related stuff. So you have catalysts down here at the bottom. You've got all your other currencies like exalts, divines, annuls, chance orbs, alchemy orbs. Every type of currency item you can think of is on the tree. There is a limited amount of points that you have that you can spend, so you do need to spend them a bit wisely depending on what you're looking to get out of them, and that goes for all the trees. Each of them has their own separate section. So as mentioned, the top left is the currency one. Bottom left is going to be your rings, bottom right is going to be belts, and top right is going to be amulets. When you first start unlocking the currency part of the tree, a lot of people what they like to do is they like to go straight for the divines as fast as they can get up there. You look at the tree, you think, oh, divines, that sounds amazing, let's get up there as fast as we can. It's not the best thing to do. The divines do drop, they drop relatively frequently, but it's not the best way to utilize the currency tree. If you want to just go for raw divines, then sure, go up there and take the notes. But if you want to get more steady profit and more guaranteed profit than what the divines would be, I would stick with the catalysts. The reason the catalysts are better than the divines is because there are some catalysts that are worth 4 or 5 divines each, which is a lot more than what you would get if you went for just raw divine drops. And the catalysts do drop quite commonly for the more expensive ones compared to what you would get again if you went with the divines. There's a lot of people that fall into that trap where they see, oh, there's divines on the Genesis tree. Let me go up there, let me take the nodes, and let's hope the divines drop. And then they end up being quite disappointed when the divines do not start dropping as much as they think they would. If they did go up here, it is a little bit of a bait to see that, oh, divines are up here, let's head up. But like I said, the most steady, reliable profit from the Genesis tree is always going to be catalysts, because they have actually increased in value during the league as it went on by quite a bit. So I would definitely recommend, if anybody's just starting out and doesn't know where to put their points in for the currency tree, 100% put them into your catalysts. You will get an incredible amount of divines back, because there's, like I said, quite a lot of them that are worth a good bit. I'll have a picture up on the screen of the most expensive ones. They drop quite common, which is quite surprising for how much they're worth. You can easily get, I don't know, upwards of 10, maybe 20 of them from a full set, if not more even. Because with this setup, you have a chance for them to drop as threes, which again, like I said, it does happen quite common. So that would be my recommendation for the currency tree. This is by far the best setup for it. But there is a lot of people that think using the Genesis tree purely for catalysts can get a bit boring, especially if you're doing it for a long period of time. When that kind of happens, there is really big drops that you could look for if you wanted to branch away from the catalyst or the currency side in general. And you move on to the rings and the belts, which can give incredibly high value drops. So for example, on the rings, this whole left side here is all minion related. There's a lot of minion mods that can be worth quite a lot, especially if you get them in combination. I don't know all the best combinations of minions because I haven't played minions this league, but there's definitely a lot that will be worth a lot. But as well, what could be worth a lot is getting mana rings. These mana rings with the mana cost mod on them, which I'll have up on the screen, are selling for quite a bit by themselves alone. if you're able to get that as a T1 roll, this is a lot more profit at one time than the catalyst would be if you're able to get a few of these lucky drops. And then in terms of the belts, the only thing that you're looking for with belts would be the +2 minion levels, which again I'll have up on the screen. Those are worth a lot of money. If you like to gamble for items, which a lot of people who play PoE kind of just like to gamble for the high-end drops, I would definitely go for the belts if you wanted to just throw all your hive blood into something, because one of these belts is worth a lot of money, as I showed earlier. If you're able to somehow get two, if you're somehow able to fracture the plus minion levels, well then you're sitting on a lot of money. In terms of amulets, amulets can also be quite profitable if you know what you're looking for. Again, in my opinion, the only thing that's really worth looking for amulets that are the special bases, because those are going to be worth the most. So you have all of these bases can come with an aura. The aura that they get is what's going to determine the cost of them. So they can have any aura. You can have Archmage, Eternal Rage, Cast on Crit, Trinity, anything like that can be on them. Those are all going to be worth quite a bit. Again, you will have to price check the ones that do drop, but I will have a Cast and Crit example up on the screen. This is not the best setup for this tree. I haven't used this tree since like day 2 or 3 of the league. I've just been using the catalysts, but there's definitely quite a lot of profit that can be made from the amulets. Again, this is why I think Breach is still one of the best farms in the game, because not only are you getting the raw drops from the maps themselves, you can then come here and spend all your hive blood and end up getting more return from this than from the maps themselves. So you end up just stacking the profit that you end up making from farming Breach. It is definitely something I think everyone should try at least once in this league, if not more, because I'm still doing it over a month into the league. That was kind of just a quick rundown on the Genesis tree and some of the basics around it, and how much potential profit is in the tree itself if you know what you're looking for. If anyone has any questions about this, I can answer them a bit more in depth in the comments. Just ask and let me know. Slight update now, I have a new microphone coming in soon, so the audio quality should be a lot better next week. So I'm looking forward to that, looking forward to how it sounds. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.